And that is who framed Roger Rabbit. Oh, hello and welcome to Not Another Leeds podcast. And if you're watching this, you need to ask yourself, what life choices did I make to get to this particular place? Welcome. You're always welcome in this place, the dark waters, the international waters of podcastdom. And I'd like to welcome my counterpart, James. How are we, James? Freshly shaved or just lightly stubbled? He's nodding for the audio listeners out there.
Still gone to pot, mate. I know you. So
it's all gone to pot already.
It's not already. Somehow we're on negative viewers. Yeah. My first guess was on last week. Because we dropped points again, so it was only fair to get him back on. Fresh from the commentating gantry from the Newcastle game. It is Bryn. How are we, Bryn?
Oh, we know that. It's gone down the tooth. No, I'm all right, mate. Yeah, I'm all right, mate. To be honest, yeah, it's been nice to pick up 3 points down at QPR, but alas, it's not been the worst of weekends. 1 more point than I expected. To be fair,
yeah, 'twas meant to be. 'Twas not meant to be. I can't speak English. My other guest is JKT. How are we?
Well, bit pissed off after that game, to be honest. But other than that, all right. It could have been worse.
Could have been worse. The London curse is real, 100% real. Well, let's start with a positive, shall we? Yeah. Bryn, we'll go to you, live from the gantry. The Millwall game, mate. What was your overall thoughts about that, buddy?
it's a massive step up. Bringing Rothwell back in, just the way we're playing more on the front foot in midfield, moving the ball around. It was a lot more controlled, I thought, and to be fair, Millwall weren't half as aggressive on the press as Portsmouth were, and we restricted them to very little opportunities by the free header in the first half. So, yeah, I was pretty happy with the response, really, to be honest. Yeah, I couldn't really complain. Jay shaking his head. Me and you had a nice little debate about this, didn't we? Close game.
Yeah, we did.
Jay, what's your thoughts, mate?
I thought it weren't a great performance. We could have been better. We looked like we laboured a lot against a poor side, and I felt like Aronson did nothing, even though a few people praised him. And I was happy that we got the 3 points, but the performance made me worry that maybe we're not quite out of this shit little run yet, which is correct. I am the all-seeing eye.
The all-seeing eye.
Yeah.
What made you think that it was a poor performance then, in particular?
I think there were just a lot of bits where we just didn't look that confident. We didn't look like the team that had destroyed Cardiff and beat the crap out of Coventry, and we looked different. We looked like we were a little bit more timid. I don't think we had the kind of flow about us attacking wise that we do when we're on it, when we're really going for it. And there were just little things like individuals making errors and stuff. Dan James, while he's been great all season, he seems to be having a run of games at the moment where he's doing a lot of the movement, the running, he's getting in the positions, but he's making bad decisions or stuff's not coming off for him. And that happens to all players over the course of a season, but it's just little things like that at the moment. There seems to be a lot of sort of individual bits that are all coming together and sort of tripping us up a little bit. Like we don't look as fluid as we did. And I think probably Ampadu not being in the middle of defence is a big part of that.
I agree with the Ampadu bit. Do you think, is it for you then that there's too many individual mistakes happening that's causing the team to drop down?
Yeah, I think so. It's because we've not changed tactically or anything really. We're still trying to play the same system. We, still passing back to Melier when we're in stoppage time and we're not winning, and that's not really changed. That's been a constant for some time now. So I can only put it down to individual form or errors.
Okay, Bryn, do you agree with that? And is it because, and we'll get onto the QPR game obviously, that is Farker not rotating and these lads just knackered? Like Dan James, sometimes when he takes it onto his left and he's just like an exhausted shot. Sometimes we've seen it a few times this season where it just goes over the bar or wide or.
Sadly, with Dan James, he's a bit of a one-trick pony where he relies very, very heavily on his speed, where he's either kicking it past the fullback and doing him on the outside with his speed. But, the second he checks onto his left foot, sadly, it's either an over-hit cross or he's hit first man. He never seems to hit anybody in the middle. And I think by the Sheffield United second half performance, where he put that great cross in for Firpo's header, I think he's had a stinking last 5-6 games. But I think those 2 assists he got against Sheffield United, that simple pass for Peru, were I think it's kind of built his stats up a bit, and maybe I'd give personally. I think personally, it's international breaks at the right time for 1 or 2 of them, Dan James especially. But then again, it depends if he gets a minute for Wales or not.
Yeah. Hopefully, I want him to have a rest because Aronson's having a rest. I don't want to talk about Aronson in particular in a short while, but the first goal we scored with Solomon it was obviously just trying to get it into the box, and it's a mistake. It takes a deflection and went in a bit too easy for me. But we need them sort of goals. We need that rub of the green, which we've not been getting a lot this season. And obviously, the games that happened today, the Sheffield United goal. Did you see that, Jay?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, if we'd conceded that, we'd all be going nuts. It were a terrible goal to concede.
I thought the keeper could have done better. Yeah, he took a deflection, but I thought he flapped at it. We were talking about it when we were in. But credit to Sheffield United, they're winning ugly, aren't they? And they just keep getting there. But anyway, that's
the worry.
Were we fortunate, Bryn, to get that first goal?
No, I think ultimately Solomon was, he gave up really on a loose ball, really, and he does what all good wingers do: plays to the byline, got the ball across, and ultimately the defender stuck a lazy leg out. He's not done his job properly, and then I don't know if the keeper's not had time to react properly or not, but it's got in the net. It is what it is. It can happen once a split-second decision for a goalkeeper to shift his body weight and get it down and keep it out. I know he got something on it, but was it decisive enough to keep it out? So I'd say it was more down to good work from Solomon and a bit poor defending from Millwall centre half, that Cooper.
Yeah. If we've been honest, I thought this is one of the games. I mean, a lot of people look at these next, I think it was 9 games then or 10 games then, that this is one of the strongest. Obviously, they've done the double overs this season. A terrible away performance at their place. We lost in the cup, which is the cup. I'm not asked about the cup. I just want to get out of the league. Jay, were you nervous coming into this game?
Yeah, I were worried that another bad result after 2 before it would really hurt us. So I was hoping that it wouldn't be a case of nerves. And you don't know before a game like that, with a potential run like that, what sort of crowd you're going to get either at Elland Road. You don't know if everyone's going to be up for it and behind them trying to spur them on, or if everyone's going to be shitting themselves and silent. And it were a bit of a mix of both at times, to be honest.
I thought as the game went on, I was like, right, we need to bury this now. I didn't want I didn't want Millwall to nick it late on. But in Tanaka, Bryn, after the previous game where he was just giving the ball away, and and the Portsmouth game were just, it felt very, very last year to me. But obviously, he made up for it in this Millwall game, didn't he?
Yeah, definitely. It was more of a back to the AO Tanaka that we all know and love. He stepped up massively. Just played his normal game. He does have the ability on the half turn, and players were closing him down quite a bit. But he seems to have a bit more I think it's when Ella Rubin, it's a bit wider the pitch. He seems to have more of peripheral vision or something. But on the half turn, he's always just beating his man. And you're finding balls around the corner, and he just played really, really well. Then obviously took his goal absolutely sublimely to the top corner, and just what you expected. I think it was between him and Rothwell for me, who were man of the match. And I think Rothwell were definitely the man of the match in the first half. I think Tanaka's performance in the second and his goal just about sealed it for me.
Yeah, talking about the goal, Jay. I mean, what a relief when you saw that bury into the corner.
Beautiful. It were a weird game, wasn't it? It were it felt for large parts of it, like everything in between the opening goal and that one, to be fair, it felt like a 0-0, just the way it was being played. It felt like one of those games where you were just going to keep being frustrated and nothing much was going to happen. It was just going to be a lot of possession. But it felt like we needed that second. And it was that game, wasn't it, where we got one ruled out, the one that was fine.
Yeah, it was, where Brew and Aronson combined.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get to him, Danny, but that referee and his linos need a special mention tonight because that was one of the worst officiating performances I've ever seen.
I was just about to get your opinion on that, boys. The ref had a bit of a questionable game. Bryn, in the most colourful language you can think of in the Queen's English, how would you describe those officials?
I'd still say not as bad as Portsmouth, but Christ almighty, I'd happily pay for LASIK for every single one of those knobheads in the AFL. Just stick them all through. And if I burn out the corneas, so be it. I'm getting fucking sick of these idiots. I really am. Tell you what, bring VAR to the Championship. I don't care what anyone says. Bring it in, because I'm getting sick of these incompetents who can't tell an offside when he's clearly onside and a penalty. I mean, going back to the Portsmouth game when Dan James basically got kicked up in there, he went
absolutely smashed him.
I know, and then you see that blatant guy. Peru's. He's not a slight man, but come on, you can see he's clearly onside. I know he's got an ass like Michael Ricketts, but he was clearly onside. And it's
very harsh.
The mind boggles. Mine just boggles these imbeciles.
It just doesn't make any sense, does it?
It was literally like a rat's cock if he was offside. Do you know what I mean? I thought it was very harsh, and it was such a well-worked goal. Just for that alone, they should have just gone, "Oh, right, fair play, boys. You can have."
Yeah, but it's Leeds United. It's Leeds United.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And we're not allowed nice things.
No, it robbed poor Brendy of an assist as well, didn't it? He might have had a different game against QPR if he had that.
Well,
he got one yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, sadly it counts as -1.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I ask you, Jay, about the refereeing decisions?
Well, yeah, I said he needed a mention, and it was shocking. He had no cards. My only explanation for that is that he knows somebody that had a bet on no cards, because it's inexplicable otherwise.
I thought it was questionable. I thought it was very questionable, especially the defender who was it. Dan James was just running past him,
shoved two hands in his face,
and he's literally done that. Right, I know he's trying to shield the ball or whatever, but he's literally forced him. He's not used his body; he's used his arms, and surely that's a foul. I want after a penalty, it is a free kick, or you know what I mean? That's my opinion on the matter. Was that a penalty or a free kick for you? Definitely, Bryn.
I'd definitely say so. Yeah, again, at what point, again, that's a penalty in rugby league, which is a physical game. Hands to the face, you just don't do it. In a physical contact sport, the one thing you don't do is, go around the neck or go in the face. But apparently, this referee thinks you can.
Tell me something, Danny. Sorry, go on.
I'll tell you anything you want, mate. Go
on. So, how can Ilan Meslier get sent off for touching a guy's face?
I was just about to bring this up. You bastard! You bastard!
We've got a mind meld going.
Really good. I was going to sound really good and clever then, but you bastard! Yeah, I was like, what's the difference between the Preston sending off with Meslier and what that defender did?
It's just United.
It's the 50 quid Millwall paid him. Anyway,
well,
there's not really much to say apart from we made hard work of it. I think you're right in the sense, Jay, that we could have performed better. But I think personally, I think it's because Farke's not rotating, and I think Aronson needs a bit of a break. If I'm being honest with you, we'll cover Aronson when we talk about QPR because it's a special mention for him. Seems like he got an assist. But Paul Brennan in the comments says, still feeling positive. We went down 2-0 last season. We crumbled at 2-0 down and got thrashed 4-0. This time we came back and got a viable point. Strong mentality this season. Better point than no. You agree with that, Bryn?
Yeah, again, I do remember the definite, crumble last season, but now it's, especially when you got your rival sides winning games around you, we need to be picking up maximum points. I know QPR are not no mugs, and we've got the hoodoo of London, the hoodoo of the 12:30 combined. It were pro-written stars who were going to drop points, but sometimes you just got to show a bit of mental strength and just fight through it. And sadly, after we got the second goal, I just didn't see us really. After Bogle scored, there's like maybe kicking into it. We got overloaded a couple of times down the flanks and got the ball in, but we just never looked like getting a third. I don't think we worked the goalkeeper enough. The amount of times Rothwell and Tanaka could have had a shot, and we just went wide. It just screamed like, this felt a bit like just try walking the ball into the net, and it just doesn't work all the time in the Championship.
It's frustrating. I get that you need to sort of find the gaps by playing around the back, but the thing that works constantly for us, if we move it with tempo, then we can exploit those and then move forward, because that's what we're good at, especially when you've got Bogle and Firpo down the wings overlapping, but as soon as we lose tempo, I feel we just go to shit. That's just what happens. But after the game, obviously there was only 391 Millwall fans that were hard enough to make the trip up north, as they announced that Lee Nicholson. Is it Lee Nicholson? Nicholson?
Yeah.
That give them a special shout out. And did you see the tweet after from Leeds United?
Yeah, about fifth round
Leeds
FA Cup finalists.
Yeah, absolutely shit out of it from
you can't be a
Mr.
bit
Wilson. Shout out to Craig Wilson, absolute beast. Do you know that Millwall have changed the badge since?
Have they?
It's it's my rendition, and here it is.
Okay.
The new Millwall.
Love that.
Not the lions, the taxidermied lions, more like. Yeah. So I know some watch this, and I know that you triggered quite easily, Millwall fans. But no, it is a long trip. But yeah, we came out 2-0 winners. When Tanaka scored, I personally let out a sound that is only reserved for the bedroom. It was a sigh of relief. But no,
please stop.
Followed.
It hurts.
Yeah, there was nothing left in the end. But yeah, overall, sum it up in less than 5 words, Bryn. The win.
What, the Millwall game?
Yeah.
Thank God, move on.
That's 4. Can you do it less than 4, Jay?
That's 1.
Job done.
3. Job done. I'll take that.
There's no
3
That's
points.
not part of it.
Well, you said so there you go.
How dare you?
Yeah, so then let's split it up before we get into the rubbish bit. A quick bit of news. I'll talk to you, Bryn. In the green room, we never mentioned it last week, Jay, but Mr. Kinnear is leaving for Everton.
Well, lovely pixelated picture that is. Jesus.
I know, yeah. Well, to be fair, I have got him at gunpoint.
He's got
a drill though.
He's got a face that a nightmare would love.
Yeah, I think it's very much like Pennywise can change into different people and shapeshift. I believe he's one of them. He's as they call them, skinwalkers. You know what I mean? That lurk about in the woods.
You ever seen him carrying a balloon?
Hey there, Georgie. Bryn, that took a turn. Is it massive loss, or are you good to see it back of him?
He's obviously remnants of the old Radrizzani. Basically took us up, took us down, and invest again. I don't know how much in terms of the football inside he did. I think he just ran maybe the business side of the football club, which, to be honest, has commercially improved, but ultimately, he's still part of the old administration that kind of, led to the rise and fall. I don't know how much he was to do with the Bielsa dismissal and the appointment of Captain America. But again, if he goes, again, there's rumours that he might be taking some more of the backroom staff with him, behind the scenes to Everton. So that's one to keep an eye on. But they've already got a high-profile ex-lawyer who was involved in the Woodgate Boyer court case involved, and I was the vice chairman. Yeah. So I think he's very shrewd appointment. He's been involved with the FA, so he knows all procedures, and I imagine he's a very good football operator. So I don't think it's a great loss, but ultimately, again, he's just in me, just like running the day-to-day for Parag McGrath, while the football's handled by everybody else, really.
I think he's got a
Island's
bit of
own
balls to
Parag
say that.
McGrath.
Yeah. I think he's got a bit of balls to say that he stayed and he's took loads of shit, especially from, he stood up to the, not stood up, but went on the Square Ball podcast. Excuse me. So he has got my respect in that account. Right? He has took it on the chin, literally. Jay's, he's sad to see him go. Are you gonna, send him flowers on a goodbye card with your own blood written on it?
Not particularly, mate. I'm sure he's been involved in some really good stuff that's happened at the club. And when you look at where we are now from where we were under Cellino, like a lot of infrastructure around it and the management and all that's just been revamped and changed. And, we're a much better run club. And I'm sure he's a big part of that. But I'll never really get past the fact that Rads should have sold up after we finished 9th and they all should have just gone. We should have had a clear out there and we would now be Forest or Villa, basically, had that happened, in my belief. But it is what it is. I understand they kept him for continuity and all that. He was never going to stay forever, and it's probably the right time for everyone, if not way past time. I won't be waving him off with a tear in my eye, but I don't really hold a great deal against him either. I just, he leaves a bit of taste in some areas, but he's done well in others,
It is what it is. Our friend Smarty, Das Führer, spoke like a politician in Square Ball. Never really got any proper answers out of him. The Tory character. Yeah, he's pretty right.
When you're right, you're right.
Yeah, he goes off when you've got a fringe like that. Smarty, while you're here, mate, I do have to show you your favourite friend. It's Annie Lucia, best commentator in the world.
Oh, Bryn loves her, don't you, Bryn?
Best commentator in the world. She's the football knowledge. The football knowledge. The football knowledge.
She's like Karen Carney. She should not belong on a screen.
Put them in a brain trust together. See what they come up with.
We all die.
That means the in German. Right.
The feminist version. Move on.
Yeah. Also, we need to get promoted because I don't know if you've heard in the news that the 49ers are after acquiring Rangers Football Club, and they can purchase Rangers Football Club if we're in the Championship. So that's the oomph that the 49ers need and should have given us in January. Instead, they haven't. Right. Let's move on then onto this week's Guess the Player. Now, might be a bit of a difficult one, but here we go. If you've not played Guess the Player before, for you at home, newly watching, what I will do is I will put a person up on the screen with their head, with a question mark over their head, and I'll give you some facts about this person. And basically, you have to guess who it is. And if you're wrong, I win. And if you get it right, you've cheated. Simple as that. So let's get on to this week's Guess the Player. So this player has spent more time in Milan than he actually got citizenship for Italy, right? He's been known to have petrol fights. That's right, I said petrol fights. And then he gets on with models, and he's built a school for really, really, really good-looking children. I'm not saying that in a weird way, but that's exactly what he did. And he's also had a few fights. He's an international celebrity. So, who do you think this person is? Originally from America, gained Italian nationality via his work in Milan, had a petrol fight, and he's known to stop objects with just his look alone. So, who do you think this is, Jay Cartier?
I actually have got no idea. Not a clue. Like, my mind's gone blank on this one.
Have a guess, mate. Have a guess.
When you said originally from America, that's thrown me completely. So I'm just gonna say Roberto Baggio, just because he's
Roberto
Italian.
Baggio is a great guess. What about you?
I'm saying it purely because it's an Italy shirt.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't mean anything. Last time it was Stan Marsh on Lee Boyer's head, so I'm not having.
But sometimes it's a proper player. Sometimes it's something from the depths of his mind. So you don't know what's going on.
Keep you on your toes.
His mind's a scary place.
Once you're in, you can't get out. Oh, no, as he says, to get him to the Greek, hope you wear a condom because I got a dirty mind. Right, Bryn, I'm going to have to rush you.
Fucking hell. Roberto De Niro. I don't have a clue.
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro, sorry.
That's on his birth certificate. So you got Baggio, De Niro. Well, it is Derek Zoolander himself.
I've not seen the film.
Right, how do I get rid of Bryn off this? How have you not seen Zoolander?
I've not seen it.
Well, that's your homework. That's your homework.
Fine.
Yes, so nobody gets it this week. I think actually, let's go have a look in the comments. You got Gino Di Campo from War Piglet, was so close, but Einar got it first with Zoolander. You got Luke Chadwick, if you remember him.
To be fair, he does look like he does like he's
Lena
been fighting
Zaffaroni.
Fire. Does Luke Chadwick?
Our very own James has got Zoolander as well, and it's normally a cartoon character, Jay. It's not this week though, is it?
It's not, is it? You never know.
You never know. Sometimes it's a real player. I like to double bluff. You know me. They call me the double bluffer.
They do.
Do you know what they call me?
Other things.
Do you know what they call me in Italy, Jay?
Go on.
Danny. That's what they say. Anyway, so let's move on to the QP game. Now, Jay, what went wrong, mate? 2-0 down.
Fucking
30
hell.
minutes played. First of all, let's talk about Aronson. And then we'll talk about the overall fucking shit show.
Do I have to?
We mentioned it earlier. He got an assist. But I thought we started fine, boys. I thought we started fine, but then Leeds being Leeds, we just sort of gave it up. What happened, Jay?
What the fuck were Aronson doing? What were he doing?
Laying it off.
I'd say, do you know what? Big up to Farker for subbing the bastard at half time and having the balls to do it.
And that's what it takes. Look what happened.
And I'm hoping that's the end of the experiment now. Because Nanto offered more in 45 minutes of football than Aronson's offered in 5 to 10 games. And I don't even care if Smarty disagrees with me in comments. It's fucking, I've seen it. The all-seeing eye, I've told you. But other than that, we were shit
brown eye.
for the first half hour. Yeah, pretty much. We were shit for the first half hour. And it was frustrating because, I say we were shit. We were in control of the game. Do you know what I mean? We were in control of the game. We just made stupid mistakes again. And I was sat there at 1-0 down thinking, well, that's crap, but we should still win this. We look way better than these. And then it's 2-0. And I'm just like, what is happening? What is happening? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Why are we doing a Leeds United again? And I said last season after the playoffs, I said, that's it. I've had enough of this shit. I'm not getting sucked in again. I'm not getting drawn in again. Football's shit. I'm not interested. And now here I am thinking, come on, Leeds, we're going to do it. We're going up as fucking champions. And then we have this run and we're playing like this. And it just kind of it confirmed to me what my fears were after that Millwall game when I said that I didn't think the performance was that good. It didn't make me think we've got our rhythm back, we're okay. And, you know, I were right looking at that. But the flip side of that is we came back and we got a point out of it and we still did look like we should have won the game by the end of it. And there's times when we've played away games, we've gone a goal down and that's it, game over, curtains. And, you know, credit to them for fighting back, credit to Farker for making changes, but something needs sort of sorting out with those players, whether it's, you know, psychological, whether it's just a dip or what. He just needs to figure out what's going on and fix it for me because we can't keep doing that.
Yeah. What about you, Bryn, mate? What's your say on the QPR game?
Well, touching Aronson there, you know, he's done the right thing where he's tracked back well. However, he's just done this most ridiculous nonchalant pass that I don't know if he was aiming for Rodon, if he was aiming for Bogle. I don't have a clue what the hell he was thinking, but obviously then he's pretty top bins. But I'm sick and tired of the zonal marking at set pieces. How the frig has Steve Cook, who moves like Sean Gregan in a wheelchair, got 3 yards of free space around him and then scores a free header into the goal? I mean, just the mind, it's just, then you got Rodon and Strout both stood on the 6-yard line. Flappy's just leave Flappy on his line and just worry about the ball and worry about their main men. And then the second half, what was that? Willie Nonto, smallest man up pitch, marking frigging fullback. So
he always does that to him.
I don't get it. I don't understand it. It just defies logic.
Do you remember him marking Cooper against Millwall last year?
Oh God! You need 2 Willie Nonto stood on each other's shoulders to be as tall as Jake Cooper. You just just let him have at it. Like he's got some sort of Michael Jordan like aerial jump or something like. It defies logic and reason sometimes, and we bring a lot of the goals we concede are down to stupid individual mistakes. Aronson's goal is obviously a player mistake, and it's a tactical mistake on leaving Steve Cook. We've not been broken down well. It's a case of just lazy, inept attitude. Either the players have been told to do that, and then that's on the management. And obviously, the first goal is just Aronson being, having a brain fart. But then again, sadly, he seems to have a few of them. And
this was
again, it was obviously it's a nice reaction, but again, not quite enough. Again, I like to have seen Ramazani on maybe at half time as well, because I think Dan James has been running on empty for the past month. And I thought, I could see Sullivan's frustration because he was, for me, our best player. Again, he had that left back on toast, got him on a yellow card, and him and Firpo were interlinking really well. Firpo was overlapping. Oh yeah, and I don't understand how James stayed on the pitch when, I know the other fullback got booked, but I just don't understand how he stayed on the pitch over.
I think he needs a break. I think Dan James needs a break. He looks absolutely knackered, does the lad. And I'm sure Brendan Aronson, if you measured him throughout the season, he's got shorter because his legs are eroding away. He's doing that much fucking running. This was my... Yes, exactly, mate. Yeah, he can sharpen it so much. You talk about the header there. This was my face when it went in. Honestly, I could not believe it just went in. I was fucking fuming. I was that fuming that I just like, what can you do? It's a great header. It's a great knock. The first one, I was just like, fucking hell. Because, it's early kickoffs again, isn't it, Jay? Early kickoffs are fucking us again.
It is. I felt like that guy in Terminator 2 when he sees him walk through bars in mental asylum and cigarette just drops out of his mouth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I said this. I've said this in group and stuff, like, these kickoffs are pissing me off. We are getting ours moved more than anyone else, and we're getting early kickoffs all the time. And it's not fair. It has an effect.
Preston's another
stats back it up. The what?
Preston's another game moved 12:30 now, isn't it?
Yeah. And we're having to do this week in, week out now. It messes with the fans. It messes with the atmosphere at the game. It's not the same as a 3:00 Saturday kickoff. It's just not.
Hold on. Are you saying there's a conspiracy?
After seeing the last couple of reffing performances, mate, I'm starting to think there might be. I'm going to get one of Carl's hats, and I'm.
Stay out of my head. Conspiracy of the week.
This is happening a lot tonight.
Shout out to Carl.
The other thing you're missing off that's like a bit of sci-fi music.
Pepe Sylvia. I love that. Pepe Sylvia.
But I thought overall the game was shocking, and I saw a comment. I'm going to put it up. It was quite notable. I'll get to the other comments in a minute. Where is it? Rothwell, basically. Here we go. By Tom. Tom Gatlin says, thought Rothwell's set pieces were shocking. And for Rothwell, I think that's quite the comment, because normally when you go back to the Sunderland game, Sheffield game, where he came on and totally changed our fortune with his set pieces. Bryn, is Rothwell knackered?
I think he looked a bit leggy. It looked a bit leggy in that game against Cooper. Like some of his ball, when he was controlling the ball, he didn't look as crisp when he was like kicking it in front of him. Wasn't quite on top of it, and sadly, bringing Gruyev on isn't the answer. He's your holder. You know, he's basically was our backup for Ampadu last season. Now Fark's played him a bit more. Start the season fancy more like the 8 role, which isn't Gruyev. He's not confident enough on the ball for me, and sadly, we don't have another centre midfielder that can get the ball and drive. And that's one worry. That's one area I hope we strengthen in summer, regardless of what division we're in.
Which brings me on to this, Jay. Do you agree with this comment? Michael Evans says that game yesterday was League One quality. If we go up, we're absolutely doomed. Now, I don't think he means that. I think it's a bit tongue in cheek because we'll obviously recruit in the summer. But it was bad, wasn't it?
I can't agree. League One quality. I thought if we'd not made the fight back and we'd just gone down 2-0 and we'd just been shite, then yeah, fair enough. But we did fight back. We did look like we could have won the game. It wasn't good enough by a massive stretch. No way, especially not when we're in a run-in like this and everything's in our hands and we seem to be doing everything we can to give that to Sheffield and fucking Burnley at this point. But League One level's a bit harsh. I think it was promising to see that there is fight in there, that there is some resolve, that they did care enough to try and get back in the game and try and win the game. But they just need to be better in the next match for me. We need to pick ourselves back up and get back to the levels we were at before. Yeah. At least this time we've gone to shit before the international break, so we don't have to blame that.
Yeah, I think at points, would you have took a point before the game, Bryn? I would have.
Definitely. We don't win London. It's just a matter of course. Like I think last time we won at Q, we don't win it. We don't win at places like Q, Charlton, Millwall. We don't. But yeah, when it Ruth's hat-trick when Snaggletooth got a couple of assists, Chibikick. I think that was the last result down there.
Chibikick.
I remember when.
Yeah, and Wiedwald had a horrendous
absolute
howler, didn't he? They bounced over him.
Yeah, I think all the other game before I remember being at QPR's when they were promoted and Warnock were managing. McCormack scored 2, I think. I don't remember that because I won quite a bit of money betting on Leeds at half time, so we were a better team. But yeah, it just is what it is. Again, I'm dreading Luton. I think that's a 12:30 game. I know it's just outside Luton, but it's outside London, but it's the fabled 12:30. The fabled might as well be fucking London because how close it is to London. It's just and the only problem is now. I know the players are great for rest, but Swansea's frigging miles away. Is it 29th our next game? It's forever.
Yeah.
It's 13 days.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
I
don't want international breaks. I don't want them.
I think the boys need it though.
Just put us out of our misery early. That's all I say. Just let's not dwell on it.
How many games is it? 8?
Sorry?
8?
Like 38, haven't we? So yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
season of beer in bloody Premier League.
But the main thing is now that the guys get a rest now. But as a Leeds fan, this is how I feel, knowing that Leeds can't ruin my day until the 29th. Now we are free. Honestly, mate, it's not having to worry about bloody Leeds United ruining. I shouldn't be this emotionally invested in Leeds United, but it's hard not to, isn't it? James put a comment. It's why does every bastard team turn into Prime Raul when they get a chance to score? I think he's talking about the keeper there, like their keeper, that Portsmouth keeper. Yeah, that Portsmouth keeper. He'll never have a better game than that, will he?
No, he won't. No.
I can't understand it, mate. Every keeper we play against has a game of their life.
Yeah, but a lot of the time,
whereas our keeper can't catch a ball.
Or a cold.
I was saying to Danny earlier. That's what I said to Danny earlier. Cooper's had a match-winning performance today for Sheffield United. Trafford saved 2 penalties against Sunderland. I think if you're going, I don't really believe in these metrics that these websites have, but if you're going off basic name, I think I've seen that Firpo was the highest rated player in the league, but the highest Sheffield United rated player was Cooper, and the highest rated Burnley player was Trafford, which suggests that those two are playing. Well, they're the best 2 players in each team, and they're both a goalkeeper. And well, obviously I know Jay Yoggis and Brendan Aronson, but for me, Melly has been our worst player of the season. And
I think he's on the par with him pretty much, mate.
Well, you could argue it cost us points at Sunderland. Well, you can't argue it did cost us points at Sunderland. Hull away.
Hull,
Cost us points.
Portsmouth
Could
at
you
home.
argue Portsmouth at home? The
Yeah.
first goal. I just don't think he's the the quality that we all thought he was anymore. Do you know what I mean? I think he's.
No,
he
his
needs a reset
ceiling.
somewhere.
His ceiling has like caved in, man. It's gone.
Yeah. It's
Carries
held
on playing like
by.
this. Carry on playing like
Okay.
this. He'll be playing for FC Halifax in a few years. He's gone to pot. He's gone to pot.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch, isn't it? Because when he came, he were promising, and we all thought he were going to end up being a French international and all this, promising young keeper. But he's gone backwards, and it's just like he's been allowed to do that, hasn't he? Because we've not brought anyone real in to take over or challenge him.
Carl Darlow, though, I know he obviously gets a bit of stick bend today. He's now got international caps. He's played countless Premier League in top 2 division games. He's never really been given a chance. It's kind of,
but he's not a sweeper keeper, is he?
Well, no. But at the end of the day, though, I don't really care about the sweeper keeping nonsense. Mellier's not a sweeper keeper. He shits me up because his indecision is what's costing us a lot of goals. Like Portsmouth goal, in backwards and forwards. The first goal against Hull, backwards and forwards. It's his
don't you like
Don't
you like when he's looking for a pass and he like goes like he's going to rolls the ball back the other way and he looks at it.
One of these days,
he rolls it back and he boots it out.
Yeah, it crowd turns all the time. It scares the shit out. It scares the shit out of me. I could generally feel like he's going to concede and get tackled when he does a crowd turn off, slip up or something. It's like watching Bambi on ice at the back.
It's only before
terrifying.
He did it. I can't remember who did it again because he did it a few games before this mistake where he Cruyffed someone and he got
someone took it off him.
And then someone took it off him and it like went into net or
took
it off him and scored. Yeah.
Who were it, Bryn, that took it off Llorente when he tried to do a Cruyff turn in box and scored?
Llorente. Giraffe legs. Baby giraffe.
That were Arsenal wanted it in cup.
We're Arsenal. Do you remember? He used to do that all the time when he'd get the ball in the edge of the 6-yard box.
Yeah.
And
Llorente did it. It was right.
Elliot wants to do it now.
No. So we've talked about Aronson. We've talked about Millier. We won't attack Aronson too much, but I thought Pirot's been very good these past few games, especially Millwall. Is that his position, Bryn? Just drop into that 10 or dropping deep like the Championship Hurricane.
Well, that's it. He hasn't got the pace. He hasn't got the pace, has he, to be on the shoulder? So it's almost like he plays this concept of a false 9, and you then want your attacking midfielder then to be bombing on beyond him, then to go into the space that he's leaving behind when he's filling into almost like as a second 10 or like a 9.5 sort of thing. So it does, but again, the Portsmouth game for me was a bit of a poem from him, but he does need players to be inverting like some players are, and against Millwall because he does a lot of decent sharp passes off the half turn, and then he can move and get into spaces and either get shots away or play some decent balls. He had a big step up there, but I thought he had a pretty poor game against QPR. I think he had a couple of chances to get some shots away on the first time, and he doesn't really seem sometimes to act on instinct. He wants to get the ball under control, then put his shot away rather than hitting the ball first time, which again, I know obviously strikers have everyone has their own technique, but sometimes I wish he'd just be, a bit more ruthless and just smash the ball first time. Like I think he had the chance when Firpo cut it back in like the 80th minute to him, but he just thought, oh no, I'll take 3 or 4 touches and the Millwall defense, the QPR defense got the block in.
Yeah. What about you, Jay?
Mate, I totally missed the question because I got a text off Mrs. who I had a little tiff with earlier and it drew my attention for a second.
So Jay getting involved.
Just repeat it.
Tell her to wait. Tell her to wait. You're here. No.
I know, mate. I'm sorry. I know. I did a loop in the text.
What have you done now, you pillock? It's always you.
It's fine, mate. It'll be fine.
That's 3 women you've been arguing it last 6 months.
No. It'll be fine later on. Don't worry about that. It's because I stole her air bubble.
It's Jay the ladies man.
That's the know of that.
I stole her air bubble. It's a pink air bubble. It's not a cock.
Oh, right. I thought it was some sort of penis ring.
Right. I thought it was. Yeah, I did as well. I thought it was.
Yeah. Anyway, what were the questions?
Not another Leeds podcast. Sometimes we do talk about Leeds United. As for Pirot, he's been good for the past couple of games for me.
Oh, yeah.
Bryn elaborated on a few things. Right, quickly, before we actually finish up.
Yeah,
What
no,
was
you
your
said,
thoughts?
is that his position? Well, we all complained when he was playing the 10 before, so
Well,
what
that was
do
his
we
sole
actually want?
position when he played in the 10. That was his, but he's like striker, but he's dropping deep in order for Aronson to scurry past him. And I just think his link-up play has
And
been
do
brilliant.
nothing. Yeah,
Like
he
Aronson, you know
has.
what I mean?
His link-up play has been decent lately. There has been times like last season, especially when, like, I remember you, Bryn, you had to really give him some when he played badly, didn't you? He's not mobile. He can't turn. He's useless. He can't run. But he's.
I just say what I see, mate. It's not. I don't have any personal grief against anyone.
No,
like,
I know.
Ultimately, I know Eli Millie is a terrific guy. He does so much for charity in the community. He just is a shit footballer, and that's just is what it is. Terrific person, but sadly, his time's come. That's all I say for Leeds United.
Absolutely. But Piru, I think, has been great, and like he did miss those 2 chances in the other game, but like he's still the guy you'd want to be there if it came again. There's not anyone who's going to do a better job on a consistent basis, so he's the guy at the moment.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. Right, I've got 2 questions for you both before we finish up on the QP game. First of all, I want to know, now that Brendan Aronson was subbed at half time and we've seen Nonto come in and he made an influence. For you, Bryn, do we see changes on the 29th?
No.
No,
I don't think I would personally, but I think Fark will be happy to see Aronson give him maybe 5 or 6 days off or a few days either side of a game, like a training game, and hopefully that'll. But I just don't think Fark will change it. I would like to see Solomon or Nonto in the 10, and I would like to see Ramazani definitely start against Swansea because I just don't think Dan James, being with international duty, will get the rest he deserves and needs. So I'd definitely like to see 3 changes from the past game, but 2-3 changes from the past game, but I don't know. And for me, I'm half tempted to chuck Sam Byron at centre back because I'm rapidly losing faith for Pascal Straug.
I saw someone make the point. It might have been you, Bryn, in the chat actually. Since Straug's come back, we've looked shaky and Ampadu dropped out. Was it you that put that in the WhatsApp chat? I can't remember.
I think I mentioned it before.
I said that earlier.
You mentioned it earlier as well, yeah. I did put it in one of the chats, yeah, but I just think again on Saturday we're giving needless free kicks away, and I put in during the game I thought, Christ, if he does one more here, he's walking, and considering how good Byram is in the air and he's a bit more mobile and he reads the game,
more defensive Byram.
Yeah, but centre half, I wouldn't mind that.
All right, yeah, sorry, yeah, at centre half, yeah, I thought you meant.
It's like we used to chuck Ayling there, but Byram's more built as a centre.
Would you not put Gilabouki in there?
No.
What are you talking about? No. He gets the lads up for it.
Yeah, you can be cheerleader outside the pitch and on the pitch. Christ.
It can be Copcat.
Yeah,
he's great. It can be Copcat. I love him, but I don't want him at centre back.
No. What about you, Jay? Do we see changes on the 29th?
I think we might. I think that Willie may get his chance now because tell me, right, how you manage a player all season, keep him happy, keep him quiet. He's not really playing. Then he gets put in the team, and everybody everywhere is raving about how much better a job he did, than the other guy that he's replaced. How do you then take him out again and justify to him that he doesn't get a chance after putting in a better performance in that game than the guy he replaced? How do you do that?
Because managers have got favourites. It just is what it is, mate.
You can't. He's got to play. You can't.
And I completely agree, but sadly managers do have favourites, and
they do.
Sadly, and I would say, yeah, and I sadly say now because of the shit that we've now got a break. Nonto, I don't know if he's been called up by Italy under 21, so Fark is not going to be seeing him for the best part of 2 weeks. He's going to get the rest that he wants. End of the day, Fark will know every single aspect of what Brendan Aronson does now. He's got he's his player now for 2 weeks just to, if he sends him on holiday for a week or whatever, what does he do? Who knows? But we know Nonto's going to be in a different environment, training quite a bit from the national side. If he plays or not, it's a different question, but he's not under the Leeds medical program, the Leeds resting program, and again, I don't know if just because of that, and Fark doesn't have the overall And obviously he'll get reports back from the national sides and everything, but ultimately, because he doesn't have overall supervision of the time off in the next 2 weeks for the Swansea game, how much that'll play on his mind.
Well, he'll be around Farkas, washing his car, hoovering his carpet and stuff, washing windows.
Well, yeah,
I think he's shit.
So, just to round up, then, it was a bit of a subpar performance. But the main thing is we came back and we scraped a point, and because of results this weekend, we are top. Then it's the both joint first, you could say, with Sheffield United, 2 points clear of Burnley. It's now squeaky time.
We shouldn't be in this position.
We should be miles clear. But the saving grace is that they've both got to play Coventry, I believe. I'll get the things up in a minute, but I've got one more thing to show you. Did you know that Brendan Aaronson's family were in a film? Did you know that?
God, is it Gremlins?
No. Car crash?
The Borrowers. Back in the day.
Is that you, Jay? Is that you on the right there, Jay?
That's me, mate. That's a young Jay.
Yeah, I see. Seems like you've had a shave, mate.
This is the running. Credit to Talking Leeds. I think I got it from. So this is the running, right? Obviously, we've got Swansea, Luton, Borough, Preston, Oxford, Stoke, Bristol, and then finishing the season with Plymouth. See, there's some hard games there for both of them. You got Coventry, Millwall won't be easy. Burnley, they've got to play. Blackburn's not an easy game for Sheffield, and then you've got Bristol City up next for Burnley. And then Coventry the week after. That is not an easy game.
Yeah.
And then you've got Sheffield United, so one of them's dropping points, so that's a bit of a breather for us. And they've got Millwall and QPR the last 2 games, so that's for me. I think Burnley have got the harder run. What do you guys think? I'll start with you, Jay.
Yeah, looks like it. I'm not sure which one of them two I want to win out of the head-to-head between them now, because it'd be hilarious. It'd be hilarious. Yeah, I'm thinking that now.
I think Burnley. I think sooner or later. I know we said this about Ipswich last season, but Sheffield United, you can only grind for so long. I think ultimately they were the second best today, and they got nicked the win. But then again, I think they said on commentary that Sheffield Wednesday haven't scored in the derby for best part of 7 years or something stupid like that. So
that's their first double over Wednesday.
They could have drawn that as well Wednesday.
Sorry,
they were just shocking. Wow. I couldn't believe how lucky their goal was. So lucky, just one deflection.
I can't believe how unlucky Wednesday were near the end when they had that save by the keeper, and then the next guy just skied it.
Oh, how pathetic!
Yeah. That Ingleson, he was doing my head in because he just kept fouling for no reason.
Oh yeah, you're basically just chasing him down, and then letting the right back do the alien flop every time whenever he got near. Just hold him off. Let him force the ball out for a throw in our corner. No. I've got 2 hands in his back and give the referee an easy decision. Some footballers are absolutely frigging brain dead.
So
go on.
Yeah. So I think personally, if I'm being optimistic, I think we go up as champions. Sheffield come up with us, but very close, and I think Burnley ultimately fall to the playoffs. So who comes up with us and who drops down, Bryn?
I'm saying nothing. I generally don't. Right, the problem we've got there is obviously seeing the fixtures. I think we'll beat Swan. I think Burnley go up as champions.
Wow.
And I think it is a toss-up between us and Sheffield United for second.
Wow.
I think Burnley just...
wow.
I think Burnley
they've come to life now.
They've now... It's taken them a long time to adapt to Scott Parker, but watching in the last... because I've got a habit when Leeds aren't playing, I watch one of the promotion rivals, so I get a bit of stick for it off Johnny and people like that. But I do spend a bit of time watching the opposition, and Burnley last 5 or 6 games are coming to their own, and they seem to be hitting time at the right point of the season. But it's almost similar to us last year where we had the international break and we couldn't kick start after. So fingers crossed, Burnley had the same problem.
I did see it. Sorry, mate. I was going to say I did see a tweet earlier saying that if Burnley fail to lose their next game, they will, I think, equal or be close to is it Reading? the unbeaten, on the records, the points record champion. I think it's Reading, isn't it? 105.
Reading got 100.
Oh,
I think
that's
Reading lost one all season and got 106 points when they won the league.
Some stupid amount of
Yeah.
thing. They're just
I think Reading lost. I think Reading lost the one on the game around October. So if they're basing on that, yeah. Oh no, they did they?
Yeah.
Or did they lose the first game of the season going beaten after that? I can't remember, to be honest. I think it might even be
crazy.
that.
It's crazy. What about you then, Jay?
I daren't say because I'm really worried.
I just had to. Put your neck up mine, so I just had to.
You can guess.
I'm gonna hope that we get our act together and we continue on and we go up, and just for shits and giggles, let's say Burnley go with us. Just because it'd be fucking amazing. It'd be hilarious. It would be hilarious. It would be the best episode of propaganda that the Square Ball could ever produce. You know what I mean? If they missed out and then lost in the playoffs to Sunderland or someone, that'd be amazing.
And not to who also lost again. I got battered by Coventry, by the way.
Yeah, I did.
But yeah, and I've got some memes ready to go. I'm ready on that final day. I got denied by Southampton last year, so I'm not fucking happy about that. Right then. So let's go on to our last segment then. Let's get into this week's
Top Knob.
That's right. You don't have the biggest penis. You're a massive knob. That's it. So how this works is we'll nominate something or something that has wound us up, and we'll put it in the middle, and then we can vote. If not all of them, some of them can get put on top of the knobs. So I will come to you first, Jay. Who has pissed you off, or what has pissed you off this week?
Doesn't
have to be football.
No. It's kind of a joint one here for me. It's a toss up. It's a mishmash, a meshing of the EFL and Sky for moving our fixtures and shit officiating.
Let's consolidate them and call them the SkyFL.
Okay, let's do that.
Because I like the way you're going with this, Jay. I like it a lot. What about you, Brynlar? Means hill in Welsh.
I've been pretty mellow this week. Nothing's really pissed me off.
You have, yeah.
I know for me, I'm normally.
It's not what the punters have come for, Britain. They've come
I'm not.
It's because you're a broken man. You've given up.
I'm not broken. There's nothing to break. I've told this before. I broke in 2007.
It's an empty vessel.
I'm merely a soul bouncing up and down. That's all it is.
Shell of the old bread.
Aye. What's pissed me off this week? You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna say I would say Brendan Aronson's performance on Saturday. I thought after his performance on Wednesday, I know Jay will disagree, but me and Smarty, don't have this vendetta against him.
Neither do
he
I.
did all right. You have a vendetta against him. You like Gilly. You want to fucking.
I'm not on a Gilly level.
You want to nail him to a fucking cross and crucify him.
No, do you know what? If he does well, I'll be first to say fair play, he did good. Yeah, Gilly, yeah. I'll be first one to say fair play, he did good. But he's just
it was all right though on Wednesday again, but I thought he's sometimes when you give the ball away and do what he did, and he didn't atone for it. He didn't show any. The goal we conceded, he didn't atone for it. He just didn't get involved in the game at all on Saturday. That's one thing that really, really wound me up.
Let's not take away from the finish from the lad, because it was a great finish.
Oh yeah, brilliant finish. Ultimately, we shouldn't be giving you shouldn't be putting it on a plate for him to have one touch on the inside and giving the opportunity to bend the top corner.
Yeah,
that's one thing.
Should Melee have saved it?
Thinking.
No,
I think he could have. But I don't think he was. I think the pace did him. But anyway. Yeah, I'm going to go. In fact, fuck it. I'm going to go Sky FL and Brendan Aronson because they both have really wound me up.
They're all knobs.
That is this week's
Top Knob.
That's right. To go on to the top of the knobs. And I think if James was here, in his memory and honour, I'll nominate the international break as well because his laptop's broken, unfortunately.
You can nominate his laptop.
Well, no, I think the international break winds him up even more than that. Rightio then. So that does bring us to the end of this week's podcast, episode 26. Bloody hell, 26 episodes. Where's this year gone? So Jay, anything happening over at Ought to Know Better? Are you doing a BNC tomorrow or main pod or tomorrow or something?
What day are we on, Danny? Is it Sunday? There'll be a
Sunday.
main pod on Tuesday, and then there'll be a BNC next in 2 weeks, yeah, because we ain't got a game, so main pod next Tuesday after that as well.
That's true. So yeah, if you don't already, please do go and subscribe to them guys. Great bunch of lads. When they remember to, be my friend. Yeah, Bryn, thanks very much for coming on again this week. Next time we drop points, make sure you come back on.
Terrific. So I'll see you at the Luton game.
See you at the Luton game.
Bryn Johnson, pod mercenary.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jay. Have you noticed he's getting his podcasting sea legs, isn't he?
He is. He's getting into it now, isn't he?
Is it?
Bought himself a mic,
baby.
No,
it's my PlayStation mic. I just don't use it.
The natural, baby.
Have you not got a natural proper mic yet? I thought you had.
No.
Oh, okay.
Stick with me, kid. I'll make you go far. Stick with me, kid. Anyway, thanks very much to both my guests this week. And one thing I need to mention, I'm going to keep plugging it until the actual game itself. Jay knows because you're playing, aren't you, my friend? We are having
playing is a loose term.
Playing or turning up,
turning up
and standing on the pitch. Maybe that's the one of the things that you'll be doing that day. We are having a charity game for prostate cancer, I believe. Please do go check out Joe Blackburn's one of his streams he did on there, one of his videos. He explained everything, all Q&A and stuff. It is for a really good cause, and we're just working out little semantics and stuff like that. But
I think he's releasing everything in the next couple of weeks. I think he's saying.
Sorted sponsors, tickets, and hopefully it might be streamed as well. So but please do donate when the time comes. There might be an episode next week. I'm not too sure yet. It all depends if Brendan Aronson is not gone to America. But thank
God he hasn't.
Yeah, well, thanks everyone. Is it? I don't know. Is it too soon to get your tickets for the HMS Ellen float celebratory?
It's more like the movie Speed 2.
You just need to get a nice little iceberg just in front, just in case.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Speed 2 with Willem.
I'll get it ready.
Carl.
I'll get the edit ready. So a wise man once said,
"Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, lads. Top notch. Hey up. Bye bye. Have a nice week, lads."
The best Italian in the game. Yeah, so thanks very much. And if I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window, as the Lee said.